This is Dave Chen from SlashFilm.com, and I'm going to review Thor the Dark World in the time it takes for this trailer to play. I really wanted to like Thor the Dark World. While I wasn't a big fan of the original Thor, I admired quite a lot about it. It did a pretty good job at establishing a universe where science and magic are, to quote that film, one and the same. And it introduced Hemsworth and Hiddleston as Thor and Loki, two characters that these actors would come to own and inhabit completely. Pity, then, that Thor the Dark World does virtually nothing to improve upon its predecessor. In fact, in many ways, it's a worse film. This movie relies heavily on the characterization done in the previous film, but does nothing to take these characters to new or interesting places. In fact, several of the characters behave in ways that are truly bizarre. For instance, it's only Tom Hiddleston's insane charisma that saves Loki from being an incomprehensible mess in this film. The villain character is a complete waste, as he has almost no distinguishing characteristics, save that he's evil. In fact, other than Thor, pretty much no one else in this movie is given anything of significance to do, including the Warriors 3, Natalie Portman, Anthony Hopkins, Rene Russo, and so on. Overall, this movie really made me appreciate everything the first film did to set up Thor as the cocky kid who learns difficult lessons on the way to success, and Loki as a tragic, unloved figure. Really, the film's biggest crime is the way it completely jettisons any notion of rules or stakes. Wormholes appear in random places on Earth because the plot needs them to appear. People can be holograms now, but you never know when they're holograms or when they're not. The whole thing reminded me of Mission Impossible 2, when you never knew if a character was just Ethan Hunt in a mask. While it does allow for some genuine surprises, a lot of these reveals felt like nothing more than cheats. But maybe I'm being too harsh on this movie. There are definitely a few redeeming factors. Asgard has been given a facelift, and it looks pretty impressive. It honors the look of the original film, but feels a lot less like shiny CG. And the weapons that the Dark Elves use are pretty amazing. There's a wormhole device that is absolutely terrifying in both conception and execution, even if the action that surrounds it is pretty disposable, as is the action in most of this movie. I was also a huge fan of the score by Brian Tyler, who did a great job with Iron Man 3 too. It definitely feels like Marvel has found its footing in this universe. Each of the films now feels like an organic part of the whole, while still independent with its own storyline. It's just too bad that Thor the Dark World didn't take advantage of all the considerable resources at its disposal. This is David Chen for SlashFilm.com.